All right, Shalom. First, I'd like to start by saying all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai by Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is another video on Russian bomber touches down on America's doorstep. So I'm going to play the video, then get into some scriptures afterwards.
Tonight, new details emerging on the escalating military tensions between the U.S. and Russia. As Pentagon officials game out a response to Russian aggression in Europe, Vladimir Putin is now making some serious moves in the Caribbean. Our Brian Todd is all over the story for us. Give us the latest, Brian.
Wolf, tonight, Putin is on America's doorstep with nuclear-capable bombers that can fly at twice the speed of sound. It's a bold move right out of the Cold War as the Russian president tries to establish a military foothold near American shores.
All right, so I'm going to bring out this scripture. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. You know, that's talking about Russia. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Right, and that's speaking on how they took their money from their agriculture and put it into their military, you know. It says, let the weak say I am strong. Right, and that's talking about the other nations like Iran who have nuclear capabilities, you know, and the Lord woke up the mighty man, woke up Russia to get them ready for this third world war. You know, that's why Putin is showing his display of power. He put his money into his military, you know, to keep enhancing it, you know, and keep it bring all types of new nuclear missiles to light, you know, because they finna get ready for this third world war.
A Russian bomber with an impressive wingspan touches down at America's doorstep. The Tu-160 has to deploy parachutes to slow down. Russian pilots, decked out in helmets and orange jumpsuits, climb out to a hero's welcome. Two of these bombers, nicknamed Blackjacks, are in Venezuela tonight. Vladimir Putin has deployed these warplanes along with two support aircraft to conduct exercises over the Caribbean with Venezuelan forces. A worrisome development for Washington, considering the capability of the Russian bombers, which can fly twice the speed of sound.
This bomber was designed to do both high altitude and low altitude penetration of airspace with nuclear weapons, to deliver nuclear weapons on target. This aircraft was designed to be an offensive capable weapon to get into our airspace during the Cold War.
The deployment comes on the heels of Putin's recent military aggressions against Ukraine on land and sea, and countermoves by U.S. forces. Analysts say Putin is sending an unmistakable signal to the United States tonight.
He's clearly trying to send a message to the United States that he can play in our backyard and that Russia maintains significant military capabilities.
Another concern to...
Right, the Lord put the spirit on Russia to do this. You know, I think it was presuming to Ezekiel chapter 38, if I'm not mistaken. Put the hooks into their jaw, you know, turn Russia back into that, you know, communist mind state. You know, got them actually getting ready to go to war with America because they don't like America. You know, but that's the judgment. That's the you know, through the Lord, because Russia, my bad, America's ultimate end is to be hit by thermonuclear missiles. And the reason why I brought this clip out is because that's what's gonna happen, man. It's in the Bible. Them bombers don't be flying by America for no reason, or you know, they over there. In this case, they was going to Venezuela, but Russia has always been testing America's response time. You know, with I think he did it with nuclear bombers too, but he did it with jets and stuff also. So it's just a sign, man. Just a sign, let you know that the Lord is gonna have Russia shoot nuclear missiles on America. This is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that blew up the coals and the fire, right? So the Lord created the scientists that built this nuclear missile. They built the nuclear missiles that the bombers are carrying, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. That waster is the nuclear missile, man. That waster ain't gonna do nothing but bring destruction or death and destruction. This is Psalm chapter 7, verse 13. Verse 11. The Most High judges the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. Talking about the nuclear missile. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Right, talking about America, man. The Lord created the missiles to specifically destroy America. So, and it's not only going to hit America. A lot of nations are going to be hit by the nuclear missiles.
Tonight is the Cold War-style alliance of two strongmen who are both antagonists of the U.S., Putin and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who visited Moscow just last week. Experts say U.S. military and intelligence officials are closely watching the Putin-Maduro partnership and how it may work against American interests close to American shores.
They have a close military relationship. Russia does provide Venezuela with significant military support. Usually with these close military relationships, a close intelligence relationship is part of that.
The Russian deployment comes as Venezuela is deep in crisis, triggered by plummeting oil prices, crippling economic mismanagement, and violent protests against Maduro. U.S. officials tonight are skewering Putin and Maduro. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo tweeting, "The Russian and Venezuelan people should see this for what it is. Two corrupt governments squandering public funds and squelching liberty and freedom while their people suffer." Putin's spokesman fired back.
It's probably not very appropriate to make such statements when you are a country with a military budget so big that half of it could feed the whole continent of Africa.
Analysts say none of this will stop Vladimir Putin from once again trying to gain a Russian foothold in America's hemisphere.
Putin has made it very clear through his actions and through his commentary that he intends to reestablish Russia to the level of influence of the Soviet Union.
Now, just a short time ago, Venezuela's foreign minister leveled his own broadsides at the U.S., calling Mike Pompeo's tweet, quote, disrespectful and cynical. He pointed out that it was President Trump who publicly threatened military intervention against Venezuela. Now, analysts say we can expect military cat-and-mouse games to continue while those Russian bombers are deployed in Venezuela. They say U.S. forces will almost assuredly send out surveillance planes, possibly vessels, to shadow the Russians and Venezuelans. Pentagon officials will only tell CNN that they are monitoring these exercises. Wolf?
And Brian, that will potentially give the Venezuelans and the Russians some intelligence of their own, right?
Absolutely, Wolf. Experts say as U.S. planes and ships monitor these joint Russian-Venezuelan exercises, and the Russians and Venezuelans, well, they're going to gather intelligence on the Americans, on their spying and shadowing capabilities, and try to figure out how to evade them. This is the kind of cat and mouse that goes on, but it can turn dangerous in a blink.
Yeah, so they're just getting ready for this Third World War. This is Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, talking about the Russians, and prophesy against him. Right, so not only are we out there prophesying against America, we're prophesying against these Russians too. And say, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army. Right, and that's the Lord putting Russia back into that communist mind state. You know, they hated the U.S., man. You know, right now they are making deals with former USSR members. coming back together, man. Because ultimately, it's for prophecy. But it says, verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Right, so they military might. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togomar of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Right, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself. Right, and that's what they showing. They're getting prepared, And all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right, so they're being a guard unto these nations, preparing for war. You see they over there doing the drill, so to speak, in Venezuela. Guaranteed they probably got some other deals going on with them, but not only them, but the other nations also that's gonna help them fight against America. So, with that being said, all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.